because we're not late. It's 9 o'clock. We're not late.
We're not late.
I've been sitting here for a solid 15 minutes watching the comments. I see all those comments before we start. So, Gillen and your fiance and
I know. No faith.
Randy
no faith.
is upset, or well, he's not upset, but he asked if we were talking about Amazon tree boas.
Yeah, but he wants that to happen every week.
He does want that to happen every week. Just like I want rhinos to happen every week. But, yeah, it's Monday night. Here we are. Snakes and Stogies episode 230.
Crazy.
Crazy. We were just boys when it started. We are now men, mostly.
Semi-whole men.
As always, this episode is brought to you by BlackBoxCages.com. Facebook, Instagram, give them a follow. They just vended the Southeast Reptile Expo that Bob Vu puts on. I was planning to vend that for Fulvius. Ended up having to get a new car, so that kind of killed all the...
What'd you get?
I got a RAV4.
Nice. Good for you. The perfect herbing mobile.
No more Ford Explorer. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
So that ended up sort of putting a monkey wrench into my plans to vend. I didn't even end up going, actually. I wanted to go just to attend, but it being Valentine's Day weekend, it's kind of inconvenient. So
yeah.
The next one, it looked like a good show. I heard good things about it. That's the second time they've done that show, and both times everyone's been pretty happy with it from the sounds of it.
Nice.
Sounds like Bob does a really good job of like limiting the number of ball python vendors and stuff, which is nice. Still seems like there's a really good turnout in terms of vendors, even though they're limited with the ball pythons and stuff. So it just overall, it seems like he's done a good job with that.
Glad to hear it.
And it's nice to have another show that's not a franchised or whatever you want to call it. Independently run show. It's always much appreciated. So BlackBox vended. I have not talked to Jen. I don't know how they did. I know Saturday John Calloway vended, and he said that's probably the second best show he's ever had vending wise.
Nice.
Only second to Daytona. So
excellent.
Like that's a pretty good thumbs up. But
yeah.
If you're not able to go to a show that BlackBox is vending, go to blackboxcages.com, shop around, use the code THN25, give you a little discount. Use the code THN24 if that doesn't work, even though the 25 one should work by now. So check that out, racks, cages, all that good stuff. We love them. I need to take a look at my room and figure out what I need to do next. I'm torn between seeing if we can get a Cambro rack made that'll sort of condense the Cambro rack I have now and make it a little more space efficient.
Yeah.
Using the existing tubs that I have. Cambro racks are really popular. You use them or have used them. Like I know a lot of Chondro guys use them. So we've talked about it in the past, and I don't know. I think the main barrier for them is just the fact that the Cambros themselves are just expensive. So to make a rack and then have someone have to go buy Cambros too is kind of a tall ask. But the people that use Cambros, like they want Cambros. They use Cambros for a reason. They're, they know what to expect. It's not a surprise when you got to go buy Cambros. So
correct.
Awesome stuff all around. And then fullviesapparel.com. Use the code THN at checkout. Get 15% off your order. That is the exclusive promo code for THN listeners and viewers like you. I just posted a new Rhino Rat shirt, a design that I worked on a couple of weeks ago and finally got around to printing. That's going to Boca Joe of Kaluba Corruption podcast. He bought a rhino, so I do a thing now where if you get a rhino, I send you a shirt.
Hell yeah.
So he's officially, I don't even have one of these yet. He's officially getting the first one.
Nice.
So I'll put that up. I don't know when I'm going to put it up. I'll put it up at some point. I got that, and I've got a Falsuma design I've been working on.
Cool.
I've got a handful that I've been just kind of sitting on and mulling over. So
You got to do a Felsuma shirt where the shirt color is the green gecko, and
that's
then
what
it's
I
like
was.
line drawings, but then the red is red.
That's what I was.
Red your mind.
That's kind of the route I was thinking, but I don't know. That color combination with that much green is loud. So
Yeah, just like Felsuma.
It's a bit much. I don't know. Not crazy about it, but we'll see. I guess I have to offer things other than just black print. So
yeah, black, tan.
Yeah. I need to, if you have a specific color that you want shirts in, for the love of God, please message me, because my thinking is when I go to add stuff to the website is I'm not a big fan of super loud colors, your neon greens, bright yellows, things like that. So I'm not crazy about those, which in my mind tells me that like other people aren't really crazy about them either, because I also don't really see people going out of their way to get those. But every now and then I'll post something that's in that lime, like crazy bright green, and people go nuts for it. And so I'm like, all right, maybe I should add that. So I need people outside of my brain to tell me that they want bright colors and stuff like that, because I will offer them. I just assume that they're not that popular, and a lot of times earth tones and sort of more neutral colors seem to be a little more popular. So I am open to suggestions. So
yeah, man, for sure.
I am trying to do more black, because I know black's one of my favorite colors, but I know a lot of reptile people are kind of like over the black thing. But
I don't know, man. I feel like black's a staple, especially in our community, But who knows? I think if you can get bright colors, if you can get bright colors on the expressed rage, then I think that pans out nicely,
Yeah. So check that out. Oh, Joe said he's a black shirt guy. Your shirts are some of my non-black shirts. This one is a black shirt. So
there you go.
And then Harry Claiborne got the Rhino, one of the original Rhino lighter that I raffled, that I messed up the other side of. I sent that to him just as a surprise a couple weeks ago, and then completely forgot that I sent it to him, because he sent me pictures like, dude, this thing's awesome. I'm like, what are you talking about? He sent me a picture. I was like, oh yeah,
nice.
I forgot about that. So,
nice.
Cold-blooded caffeine.com.
You need some.
Snakes and Stogies blend. Get it. Rwanda, Mexico, coming together like Voltron in one bag. That and many, many other awesome blends by Trey and McKendrick.
Flavors.
Fellow South Carolinians represent. Great coffee. Legitimately awesome coffee. They have house blends, but they also have a ton of other affiliate blends like ours. We're partial. Ours is really good. That's the one you should get. But if there's others that pique your interest while you're there, use the code SMOKE, and I believe that gets you 10% off your order. So there's that.
Sweet.
Mr. Chris Sanchez will be joining us here shortly. He
was
just getting home about 15 minutes ago when I hopped on and sent him the link. So he said he's going to probably be a few minutes late.
Fashionably late.
Do you have any updates? Anything exciting going on?
No, none whatsoever. I'm continuously chiseling away at office memo board cork, trying to figure out how best to recreate the Pilbara. I think I have what I like right now. I bought black aquarium sealant, acrylic, aquarium sealer, which I think will be helpful in trying to disguise some things. And then I bought black pond safe caulk, like normal tube you put in a caulking gun.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. And I'm basically just gonna go ham on a fish tank and just try and do it,
So I thought I could be slick like Clint at BlackBox. And when they do the silicone on the edges and corners and stuff, they just use like wet their finger, and he just
Yeah,
I
that's bullshit. He's
tried
lying
that.
to you.
It doesn't
He
work, and I
he
got
is
silicone all over my finger
a
for days.
master calligrapher of silicone. I don't know how they do it, but it is a flawless uniform bead that does not have any phrase, is perfectly perpendicular with the panels of the PVC. I don't know how they do it. It is magic. It is space magic.
Mike said, I want bright colors. That coral color for the Gaboon and Rhino Viper shirt, that's a very popular one. That's actually a shade that I actually do like. And then he said his green Parsons Chameleon shirt, which was kiwi.
Nice.
Tyson Dallas said black and white are versatile for printing, but a closet can quickly get overwhelmed with black. Yeah, I know. It's just I don't want to add too many options because I don't want to overwhelm people. The more options you give people, the more likely they are to not pick something. It's literally been studied. It's called the paradox of choice. So still trying to sort of get that knocked out. Harry said he is staring out his window day and night waiting for his black box order that he just placed like 3 days ago. You should not have to wait that long for black box orders, and you won't compared to other companies where
Agreed.
you order it. Maybe the next election cycle comes around, you get it. Maybe the next Olympics roll by, you might get it. Maybe we'll be on Mars by the time you get it. We don't know. But with Black Box, you don't have to worry about that. I think the lead time currently is, let me look at the website. Because I don't know what it is currently. I know it's not that long, but they were a little backed up for a while there. I think holiday season kind of got a little hectic for them.
Tends to do that.
Let's see here. And you can look at the lead time at blackboxcages.com. It's right there on the homepage at the header. Current lead time, approximately 6 to 7 weeks, depending on order size and customization.
Excellent.
That was updated today. So at least you get an idea.
And let's be real. It's probably going to come sooner than that. I feel like they give a little longer time than they really need, especially factoring shipping and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, like if stuff happens and you have to, order replacement parts or something, maybe not necessarily for them because they do stock a lot of that stuff and have it on hand. But like for me, we only order so many shirts per an order because that's what we need. But every now and then something happens, printer decides to eat one, order a couple extra, and it delays things by a day, so whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What's
stuff,
going
man.
in the Pilbara setup?
Pilbara Abandoned Knobtails.
Nice.
Cinctus. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to put one lone male or if I'm going to put a boy and 2 girls and just let them do their thing. I guess I keep my geckos super lean, just to kind of keep it as naturalistic as possible. I don't want them fat. But it is known that Nephris males will attempt to breed themselves to near death, if not death. Basically, they just want to breed and they go off feed and they refuse to eat. So I've never kept pairs together because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call it a myth. What do you call it? Rumor, if you will.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I get some more weight on him and I get him a little chunkier, I could probably get away with it and just keep an eye on him. And if I see him losing weight or I see the girls are just looking haggard, then obviously I can take him apart. But the tank is big enough for 3. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might just leave him to have his own palace. Who knows?
Pimp Palace.
Pimp Palace.
Word. What are you smoking tonight?
Tonight I went Espinosa and we have the Laranja Box Press Toro.
Nice. Espinosa makes good stuff. That Murcielago they make is really good.
Yeah, I haven't had that yet. I know you've talked about it before, and the shop that I've been going to recently, they're heavy in Espinosa. So I'm going to try and do a little bit from all the lines and dabble because it's been a while.
Do they have the Murcielagos?
I don't even look.
Oh, I don't know. I know those, within the last 3 years or so, those Murcielagos have shown up on a lot of the top, 25 lists and stuff for a lot of the blogs and magazines and stuff. So wouldn't surprise me if they were having a hard time just keeping up with the demand, but I've had it a couple times and it is a very good cigar. And the funny thing about Espinosa too, is sometimes they don't put a ton of money into like high quality labels, right? So like you'll see them on the shelf and they look kind of cheap, and you look at it and it looks like it has the appearance of like a really cheap cigar with like a really sort of like computer paper quality band to it, but then it'll be like one of the best cigars you've had in a long time. It's so weird. They have a ton of stuff. Like their portfolio is massive, but what they do is they do really well. So
yeah, I'm excited about this one. I haven't had the box press Toro, so this will be good. And this one's got an appropriate band.
Yeah. That one and a couple others do, but they have some that are like a Thanksgiving something.
Right.
And I know I've had some of their stuff, and I looked at the band and I'm like, there's no way this is going to be half decent, because it looks like a cheap cigar.
Yeah.
But the blend is freaking out of this world. So
rock and roll. What about yourself?
I trust Espinosa at this point.
That's good. That's good.
This is one of my top, probably 3 favorite cigars, top 5, and I'm sure I've talked about it at some point. It's the LFD Colorado Oscuro.
Yes. Puts hair on the jimmies.
I've come to find that this is like the one cigar now that, like, if I smoke it, I feel a little buzzed. Like
it does.
That does not happen, but this one, man, like, oh my God. I'm feeling pretty good.
It's got some kick, man.
It's got a lot of kick, but it's a seasonal release from LFD that they usually roll out, I think, come fall. Raj somehow got a couple different 2 sizes in a couple different boxes, and every time he gets them in, I think I'm the only one that smokes them, because I'll smoke nothing but these for as long as I can get a hold of them, because I love them. So, Dirty,
what's happening?
Dirty.
What are you doing? You got your bottle of root juice?
Root juice is not coming out just yet, but yes, it is on standby. Right now, it is some of the High Life and the sweetest Swisher Perfecto that Walgreens has. So
excellent.
We keep it classy. Yeah, we put the ass in classy around here is what we do. So
delicious. Hey, look at him smoking indoors.
It's in the garage.
Oh, all right. Still counts.
Yeah.
So, Dirty, what's new with you, Bubba?
Let's see. No new accusations. Wow. No new.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That quick. All right. See y'all later. That was a good show. All right.
I'll see myself out.
No new animals in the room. Nothing really crazy happening. Well, only thing is I have one Amazon tree that had a rough shed, and I just attribute that to the room being pretty dry between that oil filled heater and because the Hog Island's in the same room and it didn't have any issue, but like I douche that enclosure pretty heavily, at least once a day, just to keep the humidity up. Amazon was rough, and I wasn't looking forward to pulling that thing out, because I was there. It was going to be a Daniel Day-Lewis. There will be blood. There absolutely would have been. So, nice. But thankfully, I have a couple of like styrofoam panels for like putting on garage doors and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just gave it the real good soaking and just closed all the openings on it for at least for overnight, 1 or 2 nights. And, like snakes do, they did their thing. She realized, everything gotten nice and moisturized and humidity was up and shed out. Now, it was kind of patchy at first, but shed out the whole thing. So she's good now.
Excellent.
Everything's eating good. Everything's on the up and up. And tried to head out, or I headed out in the field the past couple weeks. Didn't see anything, with the exception of a first snake of the year was caught this past no, 2 weekends ago. So first snake of the year, little decays.
Nice.
But further into the night, we'll get into that story because it's a pretty neat little story. But couple salamanders, but nothing really coming out yet. There was one or two anoles, which they tend to be the first ones kind of out basking and out. But everything's pretty slow. And I mean, we all had that, or at least us in around Georgia had that warm snap for about 2 weeks, and now we're
back
tonight.
Shit,
We're
it's freaking cold again, dude.
Yep, we're back into it, and I think tonight, or actually the subsequent nights, we're supposed to be into the 30s and 20s again. So everything will just everything will go back down for probably a little while.
It's crap.
Yeah, but everything's good. The assassin bugs, I separated a bunch of those eggs. I keep a little tray of cocoa coir, or not cocoa coir, but the sphagnum peat, the big giant 40-pound blocks you get at Home Depot. I just keep like a Waffle House takeout pan, moist, filled with that. And
Nice.
and I think I saw that on Dave's Beasties. It might have been that one. Because I was having an issue when I had, that dude's awesome. Because I had an issue with them just laying wherever, and it was cool seeing the babies pop up, but you kind of want to be sure when you're cleaning stuff, and you kind of want to have an idea of where everyone's at.
That's my biggest fear, man. That's why I don't have isopods anymore, because I was terrified that when I throw away mulch, I'm throwing away non-native stuff, So
that's why you get a native isopod colony going. I have.
I can't keep native isopods alive. I've tried, dude. I don't know what it is.
Freaking killing it, man.
And honestly, dwarf whites are established by me. I still feel bad about keeping them.
I mean, shit. Dwarf whites I've had pretty successfully, just because I think they thrive on negligence.
Oh, for sure.
Just, every now and then I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about these 3 weeks ago, and go back in and they're just having it up. And apparently you can grow carrots and potatoes in the dark. They'll be vining and leafing stuff out. It's some wild shit. But because I've tried to do the native isopods, can't do it. I tried slugs, tried snails, because if I can get slugs and snails established, that'll be my gateway to slug eaters and or snail eaters and some other, like the big blunt headed doofy looking dudes. Those dudes are cool. But the assassins are doing good, really, really well. And sat around Sunday morning, separated a bunch of those eggs out, and then hopefully,
Jeremy, I can keep a tea alive for a decade. I've killed every isopod I've ever purchased.
Yep.
Nice. And I like how Niserg's in the chat. Niserg, who abandoned us this evening so that he could go drinking with his friends for his birthday.
Have a rodeo.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he says freezing substrate. He says freezing substrate before tossing it kills them. I don't know about you, but I don't have enough freezer space to freeze like 30, 40 pounds of substrate.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I got no interest in doing that shit. Which I think the hatch time on the white spotted eggs is like 3 months. So, well, it's supposed to be 3 months depending on what book you read and who you talk to. I've heard a month. I've heard 3 months. I walk by and go, oh shit, there's babies in here. Let me go ahead and get those sorted out method. And that works.
Same way.
Yep. And those are good. But I was running a little experiment with the peanut beetles, and it was on a couple of websites. And of course, I ended up going through a nerd deep dive. Apparently, the adults or the adult forms either secrete or contain a chemical compound. It's like a benzene. It's almost like a gasoline or a petroleum byproduct almost, that's really bad for like kidneys, I want to say it's cytotoxic and myotoxic, but I can't think off the top of my head.
Yes.
But it's a weird compound that they use for deterring predators, and that's why they're on a number of the websites that sell these things. Say, hey, the larvae are fine, they're great, super high in protein, low in fat, blah blah blah, but do not feed adults to anything because they're toxic. And now,
is
granted,
that saying peanut beetles specifically, or like mealworms and stuff too?
peanut beetles, but that's where because I had dropped it in the group chat a while back, and I think Nisarg had mentioned it. He said, well, I'm pretty sure that the peanut beetles are in the same family as mealworms, being the tenebrio or tenebriids, which we've all fed mealworm beetles and superworm beetles to just about everything. And I've never heard of anyone having a false or negative result from doing that.
With it.
So
I will say this:
out of my way to feed, but I've like aside from the tarantulas and stuff, like I never fed any lizards peanut beetles, not peanut beetles, but yeah.
And see, I've tried to feed mealworm beetles to lizards that I had because it just happens, right? They wind up being beetles eventually, and whatever that musk deterrent thing they had that smells like a campfire. Like I used to try and feed them bearded dragons, they would spit them right out, or they wouldn't even go near them, just because of that. Whatever that smoky, like liquid smoke campfire smell is that comes from the beetles. And I'm wondering if it's the same. What's that?
It's Ardbeg.
Yeah. Yeah. So I imagine it'd be a more volatile version of that, right?
I would think so. But with that experiment, because I had buku oodles of nymphs, and dude, the one thing about assassins, they're good about they'll attack anything their size up to like 3 or 4 times bigger, but they'll also gang up on it. Like they're wild. So you know what? Let's just try it out. So I put a couple in a 1 quart or a pint Rubbermaid little cup, and threw some peanut beetles in there, and they all died.
Really?
I witnessed one predation. I took some pictures of it. So 2 of them had jumped on and were stabbing and in the process of eating it, but everything in there died. Now, of course, it's not good enough for the scientific method, the whole thing, but I don't think I'll be repeating it with something else.
Yeah.
It was definitely
a ventilation thing.
I would think that, but I set them up the exact same way I've done all the other assassins, with the exception of the only prey species I'd offered them was those little peanut beetle adults.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, I'm wondering if the peanut beetle adults were excreting.
Oh, yeah.
And the fumes couldn't, for lack of a better word, evaporate out of the container because of the cheesecloth or whatever you were using to let it breathe. So who knows? Yeah,
maybe.
I wonder how closely related that chemical is to like bombardier beetle chemical.
That'll wash your sister sauce.
Yeah, right. For sure. That's still cool, man. I mean, it's sad, but it's a great observation.
Well, and that was one thing, it was one of those deals where, and I have a couple hundred of them, and the thing that folks don't want to talk about is maybe the hierarchy of life, whereas, your feeder insects and that sort of stuff is kind of on that lower rung maybe. And then you have, as things progress with intelligence, consciousness, nervous systems, etc. I was okay with sacrificing,
sure,
2% of my colony to see if these were viable for science, to see if these were another viable food source that I could then tell other people, hey, if you have the option, peanut beetles are super prolific. Another thing that thrives on neglect, you get some raw or roasted, unsalted peanuts, you just throw them, shell and all, the whole thing, throw them in there, and you just forget them. Don't even worry about them anymore.
Really?
And you crack open a shell and they just explode. They're tiny. So I misunderstood exactly how tiny they were initially. So they're good for a lot of your bug nymphs. I'm sure a lot of the smaller like the Behovis, and
Yeah, dude. Those
I've just
tiny.
and just with Behovis, I've used up my entire scorpion vocabulary. So that was my big hit for the night.
Nice.
But no, that would work for those. Golf and jumping spiders. The jumping spider people. I know those would do well for those, and probably your mantids and shit like that. But
now, what's the nymph look like? Is it more of a waxworm, or is it more of a mealworm?
It's a mealworm.
Yeah, they're basically mealworms, because I've had them pop up in some of my dubia colonies. Like, I don't even know where they came from, but I just had some pop up, and they're literally like miniature mealworms. Like,
really,
they're tiny,
but super tiny. Even the adults are micro mealworm sized.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's like if you shrunk a mealworm down like what 20 times.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They're real small.
And the beetles are just miniatures of the adults too, like the adult mealworms.
Is it like forward fly larva? Like what do you call them?
A little bit bigger than that. A little bit bigger than forward maggots, but not. And I think full grown, your average, bottle fly, like a large adult would be a large, or average size maggot before it pupates and goes dormant. So
Dustin asked if you could feed the larva to darts, and yeah, for like thumbnails and Ranatomea, you almost have to. Like you almost don't really have much of a choice when you're looking for something that's maybe a little smaller than like Melanogaster, definitely smaller than Heidi. They're a good like microfeeder source.
Well, and that's when I was. It was a couple episodes ago. You had mentioned that you're having an issue with the smaller scorpions just not getting enough sustenance out of the fruit flies, and the peanut larvae, which the peanut beetles, they're big in the beta and Siamese fish community. Not to bring the fish people into here, but they're like big into the smaller and like microfish world, because they're small, but the protein to fat to calcium, phosphorus,
the same size as a bloodworm, but just has more to it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it would definitely pack way more nutritional value than Melanogaster or anything else like that. Similar sized.
Yeah, because I was getting those slings to eat Heidi, no problem, but it was like I could feed them a Heidi, daily to every other day, and it just seems like they weren't putting on any sort of size. They weren't swelling up like they're gaining size to go into a molt. They just
do you think
that was kind of it? I don't know.
Do you think it's because Heidi are so active that maybe it was not able to catch enough?
No, because there was times where like I would put one or two in each vial,
right?
And then I'd come back 20 minutes after lights out, and almost all of them would have the fly. Like, that wasn't a problem at all. They were definitely eating them. They just they just weren't getting anything from it.
There's just nothing in it. Yeah.
So they're all together now. I put them all together communally in a small setup. So we'll see how.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it once it warms up. Going back out and trying to score a few of our. I think we have Carolinensis.
Yeah, it's
pretty sure we have Carolinensis.
Yeah, those Behovis.
So I'll because I've tried them once and
catch some more for your boy.
No, I'm not going to. Well, if I do, I will be sure to bring a nail gun with me to staple back the sheets of bark that will inevitably be peeled away. So that's for
it's super easy, because you just take a blacklight, a small handheld blacklight, and go nuts. It's not even fair.
And that's something I have yet to do. I have yet to blacklight for them. And every year I think about it. Every year I think about it, but I never go out and do it yet. So yeah, that'll be on the to-do list this year.
What'd you do last night? Oh, we talked for about 20 minutes on maggots and larvae.
Bean beetles, yeah.
Bean beetles.
Jeff Frederick asked if we've ever bred black soldier fly Phoenix worms, and I have not. I looked into it at one point when I was doing cresteds, and it is fairly involved because you have to have like a almost like one of those screen cages that you keep chameleons in, but it has to have this like catch basin underneath for the maggots and stuff for the worms, and there's just a whole thing.
Wardrobe change.
There you go. This is the sexiest billboard I've ever seen.
Is a hell of a man.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, I had somebody reach out to me a year or two ago about doing black soldier fly larva and possibly doing like sponsored podcast stuff, and it just sounded not good. It just sounded like a lot of work.
It like you need like multiple tubs and one for them to fall into
like
and
a whole thing.
Yeah,
no, I'm good on that.
Yeah, and I mean they're great for. Jeff is saying it's supposed to be amazing for calcium and nutrition. They're super high in fat and protein. That was kind of the issue I had with my cresteds was I was feeding them the red label Pangea, which has black soldier fly larva in it. If you were feeding that to females a lot, like you'd get really chunky animals very quickly. Like for babies and getting stuff sort of established, it was great because they put on a lot of size really quickly. But you got to kind of almost be careful with how much you end up giving them because they are so full of fat and protein that your animals will put on weight real quick.
Now, I'll show my ignorance with cresteds. Don't they have like those funky calcium pockets in the back of their mouths where they
like
either store?
Sacks. Yeah.
Okay.
I never really checked them. I never felt the need to. Like I was giving them supplemental calcium on a regular basis, and I never had any signs of calcium deficiency in my eggshells and stuff, so I didn't worry about it too much. But there were people that were like, you got to check their calcium sacs all the time, and that requires you to like tap them on the face to get them to open their mouth. And it was like, I'm not doing that, man. Like, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're getting calcium. Not worried about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like some rat snakes that'll harden the eggshell to the point where the animal can't get out. Segue.
Oh shit.
So
that just happened.
Chaz at More Than Morelia, who is a fellow admin in the U.S. Gonyosoma Alliance group on Facebook, came across a paper that was published on the 10th of September last year, and I have it right here. It's pretty serious. It's 27 pages of pure gold.
Oh shit.
We're not going to read the whole thing, but it is revalidation of the arboreal Asian snake genre Goniophis, Rhynchophis, and Radnophis with a description of new genus and tribe. I'll read the abstract. Based on the latest, well, first of all, authors were Wallach, Midgard, and Hsiao, Hsiao.
Okay.
Yep. Abstract based on the latest molecular phylogenies of Gonyosoma sensulato. It's a good coffee. Which recovered 5 clades with robust support. We utilize morphological characters to demonstrate the distinctiveness of each clade, resulting in the resurrection of 3 genera, Goniophis, Rhynchophis, and Radnophis, with a proposal of a new genus and a new tribe. A synopsis of the group with descriptions and diagnoses is provided for the 5 genera and 8 species, in addition to distribution maps and illustrations of the head of each taxon. An artificial key to the species and genre in the new tribe is presented in addition to the estimated origin times for each clade. Which the origins of the clade is actually interesting too. Whoops. Let's see.
Do you have photos online to throw up on the screen?
I can try and pull it up.
Yeah, so some line graphs and
again, that's
squares.
You're asking a lot of the old MacBook here, buddy.
Yeah.
While I'm pulling that up, it talks about obviously Jansseni, oxycephalum, persinnum, frenatum, margaritatum, belangeri. But then it says it gives sort of a species origination for each, and so approximately 20.5 million years ago, there was a separation of oxycephalum from Lycodon.
That's interesting. Oh, I was not expecting that.
Nope.
Let's see. The division between the two pairs of sister taxa, Margaritatum and Persinnum, or Margaritatum plus Persinnum and belangeri plus frenatum, occurred 15.8 million years ago. The sister taxa, Margaritatum and Persinnum, diverged 11.3 million years ago, with belangeri and frenatum then separated circa 7.4 million years ago.
How did they figure that out?
Taste.
Yeah.
Taste.
The flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Facebook's going to make me do all this. Where's my damn keyboard? I wasn't prepared for this.
It's fine. Keeping you on your toes.
We'll do it live.
Making me freaking.
Is he pulling off another shirt? He's pulled
That's
off
why
another
it took him
shirt.
15 minutes to get ready. He's putting on all these layers. Which one is it now? Oh, the
That's
boom
my
slang
favorite.
shirt.
Boom slang.
Everything, everybody bleeds.
I forgot that I made that shirt.
Man,
Unless you're Jesse Ventura, because he ain't got time to bleed.
That's true. Very true. I was actually wondering. I was like, man, Dirty's looking swole tonight. He's like got some beef on them bones, and I realized it's because he's wearing 46 shirts.
No, got stung. But no, it was a heterodon bite. It's just a bee sting. Remember? So it's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, trust this device, Jesus. I have to go on Facebook to get to it, and that's.
Don't worry about it. Just keep reading the article.
I can't read it and pull up the article at the same time.
Well, don't pull it up. You have it printed out. Just read it. You're good.
I've already done a striptease. I have no other distractions to offer you. So, although I can breathe a little easier now, so that's I can actually contribute more.
Nice. Excellent.
Why did you do this, Phil?
I didn't do nothing, man.
Oh my God. Oh, wait. We're one step closer. It's loading.
Dum.
I just need to get to the PDF, and then I can get out of Facebook, because Facebook is taking up a lot of brain power here.
The Mission Impossible theme is playing in the background in his brain. There's a fuse burning away ever so quickly.
I prefer Opus number 2. It's like the AT&T hold music when you call the call centers.
Yeah.
Someone posted in the USGA group that they're looking for a yearling rhino. Hit me up.
There you go.
Shipping
Here's that, or
right
the elevator version of Girl from Ipanema.
Yes.
And young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema. I love Frank.
Can never go wrong with Frank.
Phil, I'm really upset that you had me do this.
I didn't have you do nothing, man. You have the article in front of you. Just keep going.
We're too far into it now. We're in the belly of the beast at this point.
Well, speaking of beast bellies, went to feed the fox snakes, and the female's doing great. Like, she's like thick and sturdy, looking good, and that the male just wasn't keeping up for whatever reason. And just one of those things I'm kind of curious about. Like, man, they're clutch mates, born same day, been on the same schedule, the whole deal. Man, just ain't catching up. I was like, all right, you know what? But he's also at that funky in between pinkies and fuzzies.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let's just try it. And gave both of them, a little fuzzy. And of course, female, she had hers down almost immediately. Like, there was no real hesitation. I let him have his, left him alone. Because as soon as I fed it and he kind of wrapped it, I was like, man, that's gonna be a hefty shit. All right, well,
Yeah.
we'll see. And went to check on him in about an hour after that. He was just past the head. I was like, man, all right. In my head, I was like, all right, he's gonna just puke it and leave it. I'll get it tomorrow morning. Man, checked on him the next day. He looks like a fucking sausage, but he had it down, kept it down, and
Was this live or frozen?
Oh, frozen.
You should do it again next week
And
do
cut it.
cuts and cut it. Do the cuts, baby. Now you know he
See,
can do it.
They will be. I think they'll be good for the cuts, but stuff like the Splendida, they'll explode. Now,
Yeah.
and I know I'm not going to cut halfway through the thing. Just make little surface cuts,
Yeah.
just to get into the skin. But the foxes are super gentle feeders. Like they're not crazy. They don't really do crazy coils and wraps or nothing. So they'll definitely do that. And the was the big male Holbrook or speckled I got from Doc Brown. Out of curiosity, I was making chicken wings the other night, and I had like like that finger joint
Yes,
that no one really eats. I was like, I wonder. No hesitation at all. Like, absolutely none. So, and dude, those things are awesome. But I think in the long term, speckles will definitely be something I'm putting on the slow burn.
Yeah, man.
Just to get them figured out. And it'll be the dorky thing that if I have babies one day, that will go to most of the people watching this because, but man, when I talked to a couple folks about it, and I alluded to this before, but I had no idea what I was getting into, like how tough, especially the babies are. It's definitely been something interesting, but they're cool as shit though.
Yeah, man. Just wait till it's big enough to eat a whole wing flat.
He could probably do it.
Okay.
But he also has been the instigator of a few times of me having to not quite tear the room apart, but like I'll get him out and he'll do that initial, Methropeltis kind of, or get you. Oh shit! Where we at now?
Is that even? Can you even read that? For sure.
No.
Screen share.
No.
That was good enough to throw up, but
for sharing.
I'm assuming that was the paper you were just reading off of.
I'm pulling a backer bet. Let's do this. It's probably going to be the same.
Ooh, what is that?
Okay.
You can read the title. You can read the title on that.
Oh. Arboreal Asian snake genera what is it?
Goniophis. What did it do?
I don't know, man. There you go.
This is your fault, Phil.
I didn't do nothing.
Hope you know that.
Goniophis, that's a big word for Elmo.
Yep.
So basically they came out and said, hey, all that cool stuff we did when we lumped Gonyosoma all together into one thing, everyone needs to put it back where it was, where you found it.
Really?
Fucking taxonomy, man.
Let's see.
And we're all behind the ball because this was last year, right?
It's only a couple months ago, September.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Look, I'll pick up my taxonomic ball and go home if I want to. They don't tell me what to do.
It caused Acrobat to crash. That's why it went away.
Oh, jeez.
So, materials and methods, again, won't read the whole thing, but due to the general dearth of basic systematic data, both morphological and phenotypic. I think I'm dyslexic. both morphological and phenotypic, in publication dealing with molecular systematics. We present such data herein for each species and genus. We collected standard external morphological data for each species based on examinations of specimens and a review of the primary and secondary literature.
So they measure their heads.
I hear morphological data. I think about they just said this one doesn't look like this one. So
Yeah. This one's got a grumpy face, so clearly it's different.
But sort of
and
one
yet
of
all the rat snakes are the fucking same.
Yeah, right.
Atricaudatus.
what's interesting is, in particular with this, aside from everything sort of going back to how it was, Persinnum has been split.
Split?
Yes.
Wait, like off of
it used to, it was formerly Radnophis,
okay.
or it was Gonyosoma, and now it is something completely different, but I cannot remember the name of it, so I'm flipping through my pages right now to find that.
Joe from Meteoric says, let's just go back to full Elafe.
Side
Yes.
note, what is interesting is they kept Hynenensis in the rhinos as a thing.
Okay.
So
We'll roll with it.
that's kind of what they said. Actually, let me go back.
For those of us who aren't cool, what is the common name for Persinnum?
They've got a couple names, but green bush rat snake, green trinket snake.
Picture a smaller, cuter red-tailed green rat snake, but no red tail and lime green, like a more pastel-y lime green.
And blue eyes.
And blue eyes, yes. Beautiful blue eyes.
So
Gotcha.
let me go to this page too. So this is page 17.
Joe says they're smoking some good stuff over on that Hainan Island.
17. Okay, here we are. So these were formerly Radnophis, and then there was a split between Corulum and Persinnum. Basically, the divider there being Corulum, if I'm correct, is things that were on. You can't see my mouse, can you?
Move it a little bit. Nope.
Okay, perfect. Well, on the right side, like the Vietnam side and that kind of thing, that was supposed to be Corulum, if I'm not mistaken. And then up in like India, the more right-hand side where that sort of bottlenecks in the middle there.
Yeah, Myanmar and
so the right of that
China
is supposed to be Persinnum, unless I may have gotten those two swapped. But basically, they were saying these are two different things. I do still have them, Mike. Let's see. So they have now decided to put them in Vertigrophis.
Vertigrophis?
Vertigrophis Coruleus and Vertigrophis Persinnus.
Okay.
The only unique characteristic of Vertigrophis among the other four genera is the anterior and posterior sub-equal length.
Wait, so they created a whole different genus for it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, was this a previous genus they've circled back to, or is this a whole new thing?
No, this is a whole new thing.
Kiss both sides of my ass.
I was just about to say, spank that. Wow.
So Coruleus distribution is Southeast Asia from Bhutan to South China to West Malaysia.
Okay.
The only unique characteristics of Coruleus among the other genre are the blue iris and gray mouth interior. It differs from Persinnus by the ventrolateral stripe, white versus yellow, cloacal shield, divided versus entire, iris color, bluish green, greenish blue, or bluish green versus greenish yellow or brownish yellow, tongue color, brownish yellow versus reddish brown, and mouth interior, gray versus pink.
So they took regional phenotypes just completely out and just made it its own genus.
Kinda. So okay.
Was there anything
Corulius,
involved?
Corulius is the one that is to the left, like I was saying. That is like Southeast Asia, and then Persinus is your Myanmar. Let me pull up the description here as far as the range.
This is why I have no hair.
Distribution for Persinus is Bhutan, India, Myanmar. Expected to occur in Tibet. A little bit of China, it says. A population of uncertain taxonomic status in southern Laos and central Vietnam has also been assigned to this species. So,
assuming higher altitude montane.
Sure. So instead of them saying, hey, these are all the same, so they're all in Gonyosoma, and then saying, hey, no, these are all different, they decided to put them in the Gonyosomini tribe. So basically saying, like, they're all related, but they're not all the same.
Yeah.
And that's going to contain Goniophis, Gonyosoma, Radenophis, Rhynchophis, and Vertigrophis.
So then, which two are the new one? Persinum, which is no longer Persinum,
and Corulum.
Corulum. Okay.
So it's a new genus, and they split those two into their own things as well.
Okay.
So whether or not that holds up, we'll see. I don't know, because I talked to Matt Most because I have my Corulius. And he's, him having bred a handful of different varieties, he's like, I've seen those phenotypes in all kinds of stuff. Like, it's not necessarily a west side, east side thing. So he was sort of skeptical about it when I had first talked to him, when they initially split Corulum and Persinum. So I don't know. It seems like a little bit much.
Yeah. Mike Oseki says, Bhutan? I want to get paid to do a reptile survey there.
Yeah. But this paper was posted in the U.S. Gonyosoma Alliance group. It goes through all the species from both rhinos to your true Gonyosoma, goes through Pronatum, and what we just talked about, how they came to the conclusions they came to, and all that good stuff. So I need to take this downloaded PDF and put it in the file section of the USGA group. So if anyone's interested, go check that out. Order message me, and I'll send you the link.
It looks like a great paper, man. Like, all joking aside, it really does look like a great paper.
Yeah, they put some work into it, but
just wait until that et al. Guy gets a hold of that paper. He's about to tear it a new one.
Yeah, right.
That dude puts out a lot of stuff.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Eric Claiborne says Sanchez needs a mite treatment. He's shedding abnormally frequently. What do we got there? Another shirt change.
Look at that.
Boom.
That's a good shirt. I really
shirt.
And we do have spotteds here. So, well, it's not in my immediate area. It's like 40 minutes away. So this year, I guess I could add spotteds to the list of field outings.
Hell yeah.
So,
You got wood turtles by you?
No.
Okay. Too far south.
That's way up north. I'm west central.
Okay.
So towards, and that's where I'm at is really weird because I'm on the fault line of like where the Piedmont and the coastal plain meet. I'm right there. So like there are certain toads that don't cross. There are certain snakes that don't cross. Like it's a real weird, one thing that'd be kind of cool to prove would be to find Hortus further north, like one county up, which I've seen photos, and then below the fault line, Atricaudatus. But It's a weird, because for the longest time, like I was like, man, I'm really bad at finding snakes and shit outside. Like this is not, this is not fun. I just no. But once you get kind of out there, dude, and especially if you get super nerdy in it, the geology of things, you look at the botany of things, what plants you have there, the prey species you like you can get really wrapped in the minutia of what's out there. And I just live in a really weird like border where, it's kind of like the Twilight Zone. When I found that my lifer, corn snake, there hasn't been a corn snake found here in like 20 years. Like no one's seen them. Now it was cool because it was an adult. So they're out there somewhere.
Yeah.
So, this year's definitely going to be way more field outings and knocking off the state list.
Hell
which that's the one thing that I love Nipper to death, but for someone to find every species in a continent, that's God dog man. He's a different animal.
Well, you got to remember two things. One, he's old as dirt, so that's the first thing. And second of all, he does have. How do I phrase this? His MO is take a picture of everything, even if you've seen it 100 times, because odds are it's probably going to get split or lumped in some facet, and then you've already seen it, right?
I haven't thought about that.
So I know for a fact he's probably got maybe 10 or so, 15, maybe even 20 subspecies that he's never seen. But there's such minute differences between the nominant and the sub that he doesn't care. You know what I mean?
Well, in perfect example is the paper that Smitty was just reading, and a number of the papers on taxonomy of insert whatever species you want to discuss. Things are getting split and then regrouped and reclassified and then reclassified to what they were originally.
Yep.
It's a
well, and to say this is that I know he always preaches take photos of everything because you don't know if it's going to get split or lumped or whatever. Well, there was a particular type of wall lizard, and he's seen this wall lizard in multiple countries and he's photographed it in multiple countries. Well, they split it and they added like 4 or 5 species to the genus. And all of those 4 or 5 species were very small, remote islands in the Mediterranean that he just never went to because there wasn't a reason to go. He's like, oh, it's got the wall lizard. I've already seen it. Well, now he's got to go to these tiny little islands.
Is that a bad thing? Because now it's like gives you motivation to go somewhere?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember one of the wall lizards he was looking for that was a subspecies or a split species was a main island, I want to say in Greece, and you have to kayak to the island because it's so small that you can't even land a boat there. You have to just like pull up in your kayak and like tie your kayak to a rock. And because it's not even technically, yes, it's an island, but we're talking about something that's less than an acre, just a tiny little rock in the ocean. So fascinating stuff, man. Kudos to him for killing it.
Another good segue, Phil.
That's what I was hoping you'd do, baby. Now, Smitty, I texted you about doing the game. You want to hold off on the game for next week?
Sure, because I didn't pull anything for it.
Yeah, I didn't pull anything either. I didn't because we never decided yet.
Let's see here.
Jack Oliver says, time to go lay on the beach. Mike Kasicki wants to know, Chris, how did the corn snake look, the one you found locally?
I'll post a photo or a couple photos in the group chat.
Yeah.
It's, to me, one, because I've been looking ever since I started looking. So
yeah,
20 plus years for him. It was the most beautiful snake I've ever seen in my life. But it's typically it's the classic, orange background, blackish gray borders, nothing really stark, but very much Audubon, the Green Bible.
Yes,
Very much Audubon classic, not Okatee.
Yeah.
Audubon
Bible red. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's freaking awesome. Definitely lost my shit, and that will forever be the prettiest corn snake I've ever seen. Dude, it was every bit of his great. And there's just something about those classics. Between that and the other one that comes to mind with the Audubon was the rubber boa, almost olive colored looking.
Yeah.
Rubber. Oh, we're on INAT.
So Smitty and I decided to go back to an iNat episode. For those of you listening, iNaturalist, the program, and is he doing another wardrobe change?
No,
he's not doing another wardrobe. Hey, Smitty, you got to flash over. We got to see what he shed his skin. Is this the fifth shirt? A Kings of Leonis.
It's a damn good shirt.
It's a damn good shirt. I can't believe you've gone through 5 freaking shirts. Oh God. So Smitty and I love to pull up iNaturalist in some remote areas of the world where a lot of us don't know, especially the 3 of us on screen, don't know a lot about the fauna of the area. So
the only thing I know about Grease is that it's probably one of the only musicals I actually like.
Nice. Well, seeing as how my fiance is from Greece, we decided to do some. I was talking to her about the show, and I was like, "Hey, where should we look?" She goes, "Oh, you got to look at Greece." Nipper's a huge fan of Greece. He's seen every single reptile and amphibian in Greece, which is a hell of an achievement. And Greece is awesome because it has so many islands and so many endemic species to said islands. At some point, I want Smitty to pull up the Carpathos salamander. You've got the Milos viper, which I don't think is its own species anymore, but it's still an incredible endemic, an encrebic, as well as some other species that are only found on these tiny little Greek isles. So, Smitty, where are we right now in this?
I don't know. I just looked up Greece and then chose arachnids and herps.
Excellent.
I know there was a big fat wedding there somewhere.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. I love those movies. They're so wholesome.
Oh God.
So, Smitty, do you want to try and
that sticks out to you? I
was gonna say, why don't we do this? Can you zoom in on some choice islands?
Oh, you want me to do the map thing? You're really trying to get my freaking.
You want me to do it?
I would love that. Wait. I'm sure having Spotify open and doing its thing doesn't help, but at this point, it's weird without it. Am I frozen now? Marco.
Hello.
Phil, are you muted?
I'm muted like a jerk.
Okay. I'm like, it went real quiet all of a sudden. I'm like, what's going on?
Nope. I'm here. I muted myself inadvertently.
Oh, good Lord.
What?
Jesus. There's so many observations. My computer screen just looked like it had a massive rash.
All of those is Nipper Reed.
All right. So let's start. You want me to jump in? I pulled it up on mine.
Okay. That was a glorious waste of time.
All right. Now I got to remember how to do share screen because it's been a hot minute.
God damn, I look good. Look at that shit.
Modest too.
All right, now you guys can see me. So, like Smitty said, I chose reptiles, amphibians, and arachnids.
I just mostly wanted to see what tarantulas and stuff they had. True spiders I wasn't all that interested in. But
All right. So
My
we shall start with my girl's island, Carpathos. So Carpathos is a very small island, and it is almost to Turkey. It's extreme far eastern Greece. In fact, just to show you where we're at, that's Turkey. This should be Cyprus if I can zoom in. I can't read because
big fan of their mulch. Big fan.
and their hills.
Ah.
All right, so here's Carpathos. And how do I click this? See, it's still showing me everything here. Let's try this.
You got to you did the filter thing to the right?
I did the filter thing, yeah. All right, so now we're just on Carpathos. Beautiful. 25 species, 49 identifiers, 25 observers.
Carpathos?
That is my fiance's island.
Okay. I thought so.
Yes. Make sure. Yes. Okay, how do we... All right.
Oh, all right. There we go.
Here we go. Look at this. Some cool stuff, man.
Trapdoor spiders and velvet spider.
Caspian whip snake. Look at
that. Let's look at that.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's a sweet Drimobius dog.
It is. I mean, I got to be honest. It's a handsome snake.
It is.
Look at that sheen to it.
Red-bellied water snake and a racer had a baby.
Legit. All right. Let's see if this will let me go. Oh, cool. Perfect. All right. We've got our classic Mediterranean house geckos. What is this thing? This thing looks cool.
Yeah, that would.
Erusus wackeneri.
Yeah, that's some species of velvet spider.
Wow, that is super cool.
Or ladybird spider, I think is what they're also called.
Yep, ladybird spider of the Eastern Mediterranean. Wow, very cool. I was not expecting that to be there.
We talked about those briefly on the last episode of Arachnids.
Excellent. Excellent. I mean, this one here, that takes the cake. Look at that thing. That thing's crazy.
Yeah, because we had Tarantula Cat on, we were talking about him. I'm like, the only reason I really haven't kept any true spiders is just because the lifespan isn't very long, and it's kind of like chameleons. It's like I don't want to get super attached to something only for it to turn around and die on me. And those actually, the females in those actually live a couple of years. So
very cool. There is an endemic scorpion. Look at that. That is freaking cool, man. Now I gotta find those.
Yeah, you do.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Prison pocket that thing.
Legit.
I don't know about that, but
I don't know how. Officer, I have no idea.
Any one of
them. It's so itchy. 2 photos. Good job by Matt.
I like that.
That's a really cool looking bug.
I like the coloration on the palps and the telson.
Yeah. Yeah, love that.
It's like a beefed up Hedurus.
Yeah, exactly. And I like can you see my cursor?
Yes.
I like the fading between the segments. That's super attractive. All right, I'm gonna have to favorite that for later. Very cool.
Oh.
All right. Rough-tail rock agama. Interesting.
I wonder how many of those are like, if they have turkey kiss geckos, then surely they have some other introduced stuff. No, maybe not.
I don't think turkey kiss are introduced. I think they're native.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Can't imagine the herp scene's very, very on and popping over there in Greece, but
Well, I mean, it is just this, not this island. Yeah, it's a
No,
very
they're
small
oscillated
island.
skinks. Those are cool.
Yeah, very cool.
You used to see those on a lot of the flipper tables and stuff like that.
Really.
Oscillated? Oh yeah.
And here's what I was waiting for: the Carpathos salamander. How freaking cute
What?
is that thing?
Look at that little guy.
Stupid cute. I like that one's kind of like reverse pattern.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for one of these to say Nipper Reed right there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that shot.
Wow.
That's an awesome shot.
Is
He
that like
uploads.
rock?
He uploads to iNet under a pseudonym, a nom de guerre.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, so the majority of Carpathos is rocky desert terrain, even though it is extremely tropical. From what my fiance's told me, it gets very comfortable and warm in summer, and it gets good and chilly in winter.
Then why? I thought everything was gonna be covered in carpet.
Yeah, it's very rocky coral terrain with like an almost arid landscape. So, but that thing is just stupid cute. Gummy lizards.
Manders.
Right. Manders. Look at this thing. Look at that abdomen.
Jeez.
What are they
I
calling
love substantial abdomens, and I cannot lie.
You other spiders can't deny.
Wow. Some species of crab spider.
Yeah, something like that.
Huh.
Very cool. And the
There we
jewels.
go.
There we go. The jewels. Look at that. Look at that blue.
Those things are cool, man. Everyone I've talked to that's kept those seems to really enjoy them.
Oh, for sure.
Harry said it's the most Greek-looking salamander ever.
Nice. All right, now let's
Wait, go down. What's that? Never mind.
wait. No, I'm here.
That one under the ladybird. Go back up. It's in the center, the very center row.
This one?
The one you're on. Yeah, that one right there. What is that?
Tube trapdoor or wishbone.
I was about to say
spider.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
No freaking stabby crab leg looking.
Yeah, that one gets the flip flop.
That's fucked up.
Wow.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
You know I wouldn't. All right. Shall we move islands?
We shall.
So if we head north, we go to the next island of Rose.
We move north. We're on Northanos Island.
Pelgasian rock lizard. That's cool. Look at that thing.
Check
Oh,
that.
Greek Aki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's it. The Greek Aki. Look at that smug look.
It's like because he knows the photographer probably tried to get his hands on him before. He just laughed.
Exactly.
He's like, "Bitch, you ain't catching me.
Legit.
Getting your hands on me." Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That legit is like
So
an
variable.
like, body shape wise and face, like that is all Aki, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
For
wild.
sure. Oh, look at those vertical lines, stripes. Almost has a blue tail skink. Yeah.
I know a blue tail skink when I see it. That ain't real.
Yeah. Still, this one here, that's just killer. And green toad.
Oh, is that why you got because they were Greek?
I love a toad.
No, mine are actually completely different. So this is Bophotis viridis. This is the European green toad. Billy Hunt and I have Oh my God, Bulingerus, I believe, which is the cousin to this guy.
I do
So
like this too.
smug. That's cool.
Good.
Dude, look at that eye.
Yeah, man, that's wild. Absolutely wild.
Look at that.
There we go. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Say, hey,
Love
girl.
the vibrations in the water, super cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I tried to keep a couple fowlers in the house, and that was cool for a few days until they got really, warmed up and moved in and started calling. They are loud in your house. So
Nice.
can't say I recommend that. Dude, even the water turtles look like the Hermans.
Yeah, man.
The
I
green.
thought that's what that was.
Yeah, so this is a Western Caspian turtle. And this is our first Chelonian, right?
Yes. Well, there was some damn it. What were it was a tortoise.
Greek tortoise.
No, it was subjugated or whatever. I don't remember.
Subjugated.
I can't articulate it. I don't know. I
Shit.
don't remember. I saw it when I first pulled up Greece.
Mediterranean checkered scorpion.
I like that.
That's cool. That's a good looking bug.
What's the scientific on that?
That looks
That
pretty
is
hot.
Aegiabuthus gibosus.
Yeah, I saw these in one of my
Definitely
books.
Buthidae.
Yeah, dude.
Very cool looking.
Got a lot of junk in that trunk.
Yes, sir.
Usually means they're packing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Great coloration. Very cool. Oh, what is this? Red belly jumping spider.
Jack said that turtle we were just on, they're actually more related to Asian turtles, where the European turtles are more related to the North American turtles.
Interesting. Very interesting. This is Philias chrysops. So red belly jumping spider.
It's not even its belly.
Yeah. Still great looking.
Dude, that whole world of Salticidae and jumpers is just like doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. There's a really cool species or genus in that group there. Like the ones in Australia, the peacocks and stuff, like insane.
Jumpers are really doing good for themselves. They're really found their niche.
And I mean, I can't even fault people for liking them. Like anytime if I'm sitting outside, like on the front porch or something, smoking a cigar, and a little one, I'll have like a little pantropic or something come jumping by. Like I'm hanging out with that little dude, man. I'm playing with him.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
He's sitting there staring at me, like I think you might be food, but I don't know for sure. I just love how sort of curious and inquisitive they are.
This is
balonies.
Rafalskia critica. Very interesting looking. All right. If there's anything catches your eyes, gentlemen, let me know.
What's that?
Right
that
here?
top nope up a row and all the way to the left. Is that some sort of orb weaver?
Yep. The bordered orb weaver.
That's cool too.
That's very cool.
Another group of spiders with some really cool patterns and colors, depending on where you're at.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. This one caught my eye. This is the Mediterranean false black widow.
Here we go.
Uh-oh, there we go. All right.
Is that a Steatota?
Steatota.
Fucking nerds.
I mean, if I
that's
were
pretty cool,
dude, I'd say that's a widow for sure. If I didn't know any better, like
Look at that abdomen.
Oh, yep. That's pretty cool looking. All right.
That kind of stuff is why I understand why all the Marvel nerds get all excited about Spider-Man movies and stuff.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Okay. Wow.
So variable.
That's crazy about convergent evolution. You got those, and you got the redbacks in Australia too. Though it seems like the universal color for you should definitely fuck off.
Well put. Well put. All right, so here's our first Hyla. So Hyla orientalis, eastern tree frog. I'm pretty sure this is as far west as they go naturally, but I could be wrong. It could be invasive.
Invasive from Connecticut, because that's what it looks like.
Oh man.
How did those get here? They came in on a ship from Delaware.
Oh, Jesus. All right, back button. Boom. Endemic species, the Rhodian scorpion.
The rodeo scorpion. Look, he's munching on an isopod.
The hell's he eating?
Oh no, that's one of those weird
Millipede? Flat millipede.
Yup.
Look at that guy.
Very cool.
Square
This is
up.
like the Diplocentris of the Mediterranean.
I was just about to say that exact same thing.
Yup.
I wasn't. I have no idea what that is.
See, look, blacklight for him.
Hell yeah.
Kasiki doesn't like all this arachnid talk.
I do like how, if you notice, they have a very weird base segment right here.
Mm-hmm.
It almost is like the tail is shorter because it starts lower and wider.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And then their last segment is super long, almost Laris in type.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool. All right.
Sometimes I post.
Wait, what was it? That wasn't a Sicilian, was it? No, it wasn't.
They're
Go
yes,
up.
Sicilian. They're in Greece, dude.
Anatolian
Anatolian
worm
worm.
lizard.
Shut up, Smitty. Fucking dickhead.
That's extremely phallic.
Yeah, that is a dick worm. Yep.
That's what I imagine, like the things from Alien when they're sexually mature.
Okay.
Is
Those are crazy looking.
are they xenomorphs if they're the like full grown adult version?
Yeah, xenomorph is the full grown adult, I believe.
Yeah. Well.
Boom.
I was gonna say, what is that?
Telescopus
Oh, hell yeah.
phalanx. The Mediterranean cat-eyed
Boyga.
snake. Mediterranean boyga. Rear fang venomous. Super cool. These ones also live in like rocky escarpments on these different islands, but this is, I believe, the most widespread telescopus, the most widespread cat-eyed snake of all of them.
Because they have a pretty big range, right?
Yeah.
They get
And-
those
and-
from the Middle East and stuff.
Yeah, so it basically goes from the eastern portion of Mediterranean by Morocco and even on Gibraltar all the way to Egypt, Sinai, Israel, up into southern Turkey and Greece. So the majority of the Mediterranean, both the north and south side. I believe this also has the most subspecies of all the Telescopus.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah, with multiple regional phenotypes. Most of them look similar to this, but there are some crazy looking color variations.
So, for the new kids in the class, can you give a summary about what is a telescopus?
Yeah, Telescopus is a rear fang venomous colubrid that falls into the I'm not arboreal, I'm not terrestrial. I like a little bit of both.
I do what I want.
Gotcha.
I do what I want.
Yeah.
They've been known to be found in swamps and bogs eating amphibians. They've also been known to be, 80 feet up in a tree or 200 feet up a rock escarpment, predating on small birds and lizards, as well as some rodents. Very, very
They have
opportunistic.
Some pretty
Oh
close
yeah,
some close ancestry to Boiga, though, for real.
Yeah,
That's really variable looking too, though.
yeah, and this is the most widespread of all of them. So very cool, very cool. Gotta click this guy.
That's wild too.
Yeah, and judging by the fact there's no species name, I'm assuming that this is just a hodgepodge of that genus.
Another some sort of crab spider again.
Crab spider, yeah.
Wow.
Crazy hairs. Okay. Got a lot more bugs on roads than reptiles and amphibians.
Let's see, Natrix.
Oh, look, the brown dog tick.
Got a mite.
Yeah, mites.
Yeah.
Ants, sea
What a
turtle.
And you put a fucking mite observation on INAT?
Yeah, right. Here we go.
Oh, cool.
Pseudoscorpion.
Yeah.
Yep. Now that is cool.
Those are neat.
Very cool.
I gotta read
You
that
like to doing
I have in its entirety because it has a whole section on those and some other stuff.
I always thought those are so cool looking. Like he's doing the best he can with what he's got. He's
Yeah.
not quite a scorpion. He's not quite a spider.
Yep.
He's just dealing with the hand he was dealt.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Legit. And it's amazing how, like, look at that.
They're
It's
tiny.
It's so
Yep.
tiny, man. So tiny.
You got a lot to compensate for, okay?
For sure. All right. Shall we hop islands now?
Yeah, and you could take arachnids off if you want. I know it's
Well, I'll skip over them because I still want to see if there's cool tarantulas and scorpions. Before we go crazy, let me find what island I want to do next. Let's see.
Jeremy, how I saw the moon through a telescopus once. Tonight on Aching Knees and Arachnids. Mike said there's got to be a rat snake found there. Ellipses. Y'all need Jeff Murray on to talk oddball sand boas.
He looked through a telescope. That's all he saw was Uranus.
Which island are we going to now?
I was trying to go to Crete, but I don't think it's going to let me. Oh, wait. All right.
Quick.
Damn it. I didn't want that. Hold on.
If I was going to start a travel like seaplane company that took you between the different islands of Greece, I would call it Quick Crete.
Dude.
Who's doing this? Oh, that's
Well
Athens.
done.
I don't want Athens.
Yeah, we're not trying to find Hercules. You just want to see the snakes. I'm going to keep rattling off bad jokes all night long.
It won't let me do the island of Crete? What the hell?
Are you spelling it right?
Yeah.
It's Kreet.
No, it's C-R-E-T-E. It's C-R-E-T-E.
Thank you, public school.
South Carolina's done me right. 1 square mile, Jack Oliver said. Phil's getting real specific.
I am.
No, the Pacific is on the other side, Jack. This is the Atlantic. Dude, call me butter because I'm on a roll.
God, I don't want to be here anymore. I want off this ride.
This is what my family has to deal with on a daily basis.
All right, so now we've headed north considerably up into the main islands. Okay, and now we're on. She's gonna hate me for saying this wrong. Amorgos. Amorgos. I always butcher this name. I can never remember it. All right. Whoops. Species. All right. So a couple of the same things, but I knew you wanted to see this. So there it is.
Yeah.
Ask and you shall receive. This is the javelin sand boa.
Was it
Eric's
Eric's? What a stud.
What a stud. Look at him. And this island is like a mile and a half long. So tiny, tiny islands.
Jack said it's on sand, not aspen.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So only 3 observations, but it's there. It exists. All right. What else? Got a lot of the same stuff from before.
Is that a
Kind of makes you wonder what he's eating, though.
wait, there's a rat snake right there. Go back up.
Yep.
Mike wants to see some rat snakes or he's about
Shit.
to have a stroke.
Shit. Where's it? Right here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah. 4-line snake.
Quadrivittata, is that what that is?
Yeah. Quadrilineata.
Same thing.
Elafe quadrilineata.
See, Greece knows what's up. Elafe lives forever.
Yup. That's really
Oh
cool.
wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, damn.
A little ontogenetic action.
Fox snake almost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's crazy. That pattern change.
I like
Very
that.
cool.
Yellow rats are legit.
Now, let's see what else we got here. Oh, that was it. All right. Let's go to Naxos. We take a short ferry ride northwest, and we're in
I
Naxos.
feel like you're just naming planes in Magic the Gathering at this point.
Nipper is punching the air and is going to beat you about the head, neck, and face.
Ooh, I see an ammo.
Savagely.
Yeah.
Vipera amidites.
Oh my god.
The long-nosed viper, horn-nosed viper, whatever you want to call it.
Grecian hognose, what?
A
Yes.
species that is way hotter than it needs to be for something that lives on Greece.
Yep.
I love those things though, dude. Oh. Just went from
Kind of
6
wonder what little rodents or whatever are on these tiny ass islands.
Yeah.
Or they're probably predating on lizards, especially just neonates or hatchlings.
Yeah, that's probably why they're so damn toxic.
All right. The Crimean woods scorpion. Pretty cool. Kind of anticlimactic, but I'll take it.
It's pretty neat. Wow. Look at the little guy.
On one of Jake's toes. We didn't show it earlier,
There's
so
one of those marginated tortoises.
oh, all right.
think.
Forget the grass.
I can't believe it's not butter tortoise.
Yeah,
The margin tortoise.
There he is.
it is actually marginated.
Yep.
Look at that.
Mediterranean gopher tortoise. Hell
They're-
yeah, brother.
Their heads are so small compared to their bodies.
Like the freaking Goombas on Mario.
Legit. Legit.
Remember when I wanted to get a Redfoot and my wife wouldn't let me?
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Get it, boy.
Yeah.
Get it.
Of course,
Yeah.
there's an obligatory like hot
Aggressive
shot.
breeding. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just hear the noises. Hey. Hey.
Can you imagine hearing that in the middle of the night?
Whoa.
And now the European black widow.
I see those, and I kind of understand why people want to pick them up and touch them. It kind of does the opposite for me.
Yeah, right.
It's like a Tide Pod. It just looks delicious.
All right. Now, again, short ferry ride to the west. We go to
Westeros.
Paros.
See, and it's episodes like these that, one, when I was listening, drove me absolutely batshit crazy because you can't see this. But now I'm going to have to go back and see what mammals might be on these places because I want to know what the damn snakes are eating.
Oh, for sure.
Good old leopard rat.
Those used to be pretty prevalent too.
There was a good bit of them at Daytona last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jordan Parrott had a good bit.
That's right. That's right.
I don't
That's
know. I
right.
just remember seeing more than I remember seeing in previous years. Billy had some. I think Chris Painshab has his now. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Chris got some. Chris got some and he sent them to Billy. So Billy has the ones that Chris bought.
Are those also called leopard rats, or is that something different?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Little Grecian pyro looking deal.
We got that telescopus again. All right, now another short ferry ride north to Mykonos.
These are definitely going to be Nipper Reed photos.
Oh, one new observation. Oh, hold
It's
on.
the same.
Same.
Need to look up see what natural observations people are finding at Kaznakovi. Ooh, that's a long ways from where we're at, but still.
Yeah.
There's a lot more islands than I thought there were.
Here, we can zoom out and show you.
How many of those are actually
Shit's crazy
living on them?
All of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh,
Except for Mykonos, can you add humans to it? Tons of hot chicks there.
Very true. Oh shit! I made a mistake. Zoom out. Zoom out.
Now we're taking a short ferry ride to the middle of the Dead Sea where we get lost.
All right. Let's do this one because it's fun. Man, I can't type today.
Do the one with the volcano.
Oh, shit.
Adamantus, Greece.
That's where the Eastern Diamondbacks originated. Fun fact.
True story.
And the Levantine viper. Macrovipera lebetinus.
Look at that chunk.
I want to say this is the largest of the vipers in Europe.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Or it's either that one or isn't there another one that's closely related to that one?
Well, that's the next island.
I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Milos.
If people lose some brain cells as a result of this episode, apologies in advance. It's Sanchez's fault. We'll just blame it on him.
If you're listening, you know exactly why you're here.
So yeah, so that observation was the Milos viper, which is no longer the Milos viper. It's been lumped into Lebetina. But yeah, Milos viper is a phenotypic, slightly different coloration, slightly different toxicity, bigger, badder, cooler, rarer on the island of Milos and Adamantus. All right, now let's do this. Let me see this real quick. Sorry, it's taking me so long to navigate. I'm using two different devices. Let's just go to Greece proper and we'll filter. We'll get rid of the arachnids. So everyone who can see, why do you hate me? Why is this not working? Oh my God, what did I touch? Uh-oh. I don't want that. Why is this doing this? Why do you hate me, MacBook? All right, so that is all of Greece, and those are all the reptiles and amphibians. We got 98 species. Let's see what we missed. Balkan green lizard.
Green amoeba looks like.
Very. It is a lacertid. All right. Here he is. European glass lizard, the chunk of
There we go.
Yeah, I don't understand the hype around those.
Have you ever held
Dude,
one? Have you ever seen
No,
one?
I've seen them at shows. I don't.
Not those, but the Sheltopusik, the Russians. Those
Yeah.
are freaking.
For me.
So cool. So cool.
Those are fucking cool looking.
What is that?
What?
That your cursor's on right now? Go up
That?
above that tree frog.
Montpelier.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Malpalon.
And that's a rear fang too, is it not?
Yes, sir, it is.
Those seem like they'd be fun to keep too.
Yeah, my late mentor had a pair of them that came from south of France, and they were super cool, man.
Yeah.
Don't they get really freaking big too?
Yeah, they get at
Yeah.
least 6 foot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Boom. I was hoping that we'd get some of these in the islands, but I guess you don't.
There we go.
The Greek newt.
Oh, pygmy Godzilla, dude.
Yup.
Discovered by
Chunkamunk.
Sir Isaac Newton.
Circa 1976. Adorable.
The life stages of those things is just wacky.
Yep.
The Balkan spadefoot. Now, this is not the same type of spadefoot that we have in the United States. The North American spadefoots are a different genus than the European spadefoots. However, they are very closely related. The pupils and the eye construction is slightly different, but the body type, the way they dig in the sand, the way they have the spaded pads on their toes, the morphology of their face, they're very, very, very similar, but not the same. I like how these have the white contrast with the red warts.
Same.
Very cool.
We're getting mine looked at, but
Nice.
Love a toad. Love
Chameleon?
a toad.
Chameleon.
Yeah.
Chameleon. Cameleo chameleon. The common chameleon.
That's a new one for me. I had no idea about that one.
Let's see where on the map. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I zoomed out too fast. So it looks like
Extreme northern Africa
yeah.
into the Syria, Georgia. So kind of some overlap with the veils.
Yeah, a little bit. Very cool. All right. And the Turkish newt. For all of you punk rock, Salt Lake City punk lovers, the what I like to call the Mohawk newt. All right.
what's that black one next to the left of the chameleon?
The large whip snake.
Wow. That tells me everything I need to know about one.
I know, right? Dolichophus jaguaralis.
I have never heard of that.
Never heard of it. Nipper is screaming at the radio as we speak.
Oh, you're definitely going to get the.
Oh, yeah. I know.
It's just a big old Greek racer, black racer.
Pretty much. Pretty much. the critically endangered Greek viper, Vipera gracia, or Gracia.
That was a new one for me. I never heard of that one. I mean, they all have pretty similar
Yeah, that's kind of the problem.
patterns and colorations,
Similar.
and yet Atrocaudatus and Hortus are.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're preaching the choir, pal.
I did do that for Keller.
What's the
God,
turtle?
look at that dude.
Whenever
That dude's awesome.
Balkan Anatolian crested newt.
Oh, look at that. I like that stripe.
Yeah, stripe's awesome.
Billy Hunt would like that.
Yes, he would.
I've been seeing a lot more folks getting into trying to keep and propagate newts and stuff here lately. So that's pretty cool.
That's good.
Little spadefoot.
Freaking Jar Jar Binks in frog form.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Syrian spadefoot.
Convergent evolution, baby. Let's
Faux
go.
show. Faux show. Florida red belly cooter.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
I wonder if that's
no one is safe.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a red-eared slider yet, just
No
smoking a
one
Marlboro.
Florida.
Yeah, right. And the green whip snake.
I like that too.
Yeah, it's super cool. Very Holbrook-eye looking.
Very not green.
Right. Almost has a Elaphia carinata kind
Yeah.
of.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice. All right. Well, without getting into the nitty gritty, that pretty much covers a lot of the cool stuff. I'm sure there's stuff we missed. I'm sure there's stuff that's not observed. But Greece is a massive area, both of all the thousands of islands and all of it. So look, 25,600 observations for just Greece. And that's only reptiles and amphibians. So very, very cool.
Yeah, it's wild. You just don't think of that part of the world being very,
Herpy?
yeah. But there is the Latin kind of comes from around that area too, though. So, just you think of which I guess that's where a lot of the fascination with desert landscapes and just desert wildlife comes into play, because you look at it looks like a lunar landscape, like there's nothing here, and little do you know, there's funky Jar Jar Binks frogs and weird big ass spiders and good shit.
Rob Christian asked, did y'all see that NPR posted on Instagram about the JC Rattlesnake Roundup, but they posted it as a neutral event? I saw someone, I think it was Rob and some other people had posted like their Instagram stories, but I hadn't read the article.
Mm-mm.
Frankly, at this point, if it's news related, I'm usually just like reading it and then carrying on, like reading the headline and then assuming it's bullshit and continuing on about my day.
I just learned that you can click and drag the box around an area and select just that area, and my mind is blown and I feel stupid, like I was doing this whole night wrong. So next time we're gonna do boxes.
Part deux.
Art deux.
If there's any place that you want us to do our INAT travels, our Magic School Buzz episodes, send us your suggestions.
Hell yeah, man. I'm at episode part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Let's do it, baby.
I know if you're listening to this when we do these episodes, it's probably kind of tough if you're not seeing it, but sorry. Jeff Frederick said, in brighter news, there's also a huge development with AI and snake antivenom.
Ooh.
Of course, Jack Oliver would pick Azerbaijan. Of course he would.
He's a big
Why
System
wouldn't
of
he?
a Down fan, so.
Yeah.
No one can spell that. No one cares what the Turtle Man thinks, so he can just go on somewhere.
Burn.
Oh, System of Down's Armenian.
They are Armenian.
It's the same island. Don't worry about that.
Oof.
I don't think it is. I don't know.
It's definitely not. Neither one of them are islands.
I don't know math, so just relax.
Dirty did me dirty.
Nope. That's the final shirt, so we're good now.
Nice. I thought that was going to be the Adamantius shirt, the Bleed American. I have that one.
Nope. New World Order, baby. That's where we go.
Nice. Yeah, I really love doing these INAT episodes because we all get to learn something. We all get to share something. It's fun. So anybody who wants to write in a locality, a country, a region, a mountain range, a desert, whatever, hit us up.
We should do Kilimanjaro.
Oh,
that would be a cool one.
We should do Bhutan just for Mike Kosicki.
And for those listening, if you haven't checked INAT, one, get on that. But it's one of those things where you don't know what you don't know. My nightly routine ends up being all loaf in the bed for about 20 minutes and just look up a place.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of shit I've never seen, never heard of before, ever.
What I like to do is, if I find doing that, just exploring INAT, right? So you zoom in on Nepal, okay? We all have an idea of what Nepal looks like in our mind. It does not look like what it looks like in your mind unless you've been there. And I love how INAT is usually using Google Earth to recreate roads and landscapes and all that. So if you have the right pin, you can go onto Google Maps and you could see Street View, or you could see the mountain range, or you can see landscape photos from that area and really get an idea of what habitats are, what ecosystems are. And there's almost no excuse for us to really have an idea of where these critters are living and how they're living nowadays with all the supercomputers in our pockets.
Well, and that almost brings it full circle with there's been a number of discussions or on different shows with the humdrum and poo-pooing the discipline or hobby, whatever you want to call it. And like, we are absolutely at the cusp of one technology and the things that we have available to us. This is the beginning of it. Just think, even 40, 50 years ago, you had it, unless you had an encyclopedia, that was it. There was no checking where things were at, much less microclimates or vegetation or geologies or hydrologies, humidity, all that stuff. Like, we're in it now.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's no excuse to not have that hunger, to not do more than your Petco care sheet. Like, you have the option out there. Like, it's right there in your pocket. Music and porn is great to look up, but it's a bit more than just those things.
Yeah, for sure.
We're very much in the beginning of what I'm sure will be a great time of keeping, and if nothing else, seeing where these things actually live, not just a snapshot or a black and white photo. And not only that, but you find where they're at, and you can reach out to people from there who live there, who can tell you what things are like, what the weather's like, what it's, dude,
Yeah.
It's a bright future. 100%.
Well
I'm
said.
looking up Sullivan's Island right now because that's the spot up in Charleston that has the horn lizards on it.
On INAT?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd have to convince Jake to make a trip up there, see if we can find some.
And Jack Oliver says he'd love to see us do an INAT with Urban Singapore. Not the same, Jack, but Nipper and I interviewed. Oh my God! Now I can't remember his name. Wow, that's very embarrassing. How is this embarrassing?
Was it the gentleman who was a pilot?
Yes, I'm drawing a horrible blank right now. I can't believe this.
Delta
Lou Boyer. Excuse me. Wow, sorry, Lou, if you're listening. Lou Boyer, who frequently travels to Southeast Asia for his business, is an aircraft pilot, a commercial pilot, and he actually has a place in Singapore and herp Singapore all the time, Urban Singapore. So if you want to listen to that, Jack, feel free to go back and give it a gander.
Venom Exchange Radio.
Yes, sir.
I'll check that shit out.
And while Smitty's looking at that, selfless plug, venomexchangeradio.com is up and running. Go look at it. Go enjoy it. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you find, Smitty?
There's a couple of sightings. The most recent one was like November. So it's pretty neat.
Good stuff.
I want to go up there and I gotta see him again. If I
Well,
don't have to
and
go
I
away
guess
to see him again, then even better.
Yeah.
well, and staying on INAT, I actually had someone reach out for my observations that I've made on INAT. I had I guess it's a professor that teaches some herpetology classes at a school somewhere in Georgia, who was in the area teaching stuff, and he said, "Hey, I'm trying to find some salamanders, some Desmognathus. Do you have any suggestions on where to look?" I was like, "Oh shit!" Well, one, I was like, "Me? Okay, shucks."
Nice.
So I gave him, a couple of spots. I was like, "Hey, check this out, check this out." And one was a little creek, in like a city park. He said, "Well, funny you mentioned that one. One of the classes I'm teaching is at the school right next to that park, but I didn't know if there was anything in there." I was like, "Oh yeah, definitely check it out." So he got back with me a couple of days after, his whole spiel and I guess courses, and said, "Hey, yeah, appreciate it. I found a bunch of these. I didn't find any Desmognathus, but I found some different salamanders, and I found some Nerodia, which I've never." I said, "You gotta be shitting me." Like, "No, here." And he linked me to, he found some of the prettiest Cypodon I've seen here yet.
Nice.
And I've never found any at that spot. So now, after the cold snap, I have to go back to figure out where the hell he went and found those things, because never found them there.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, INAT's pretty good stuff.
When used responsibly.
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, boys, we're at the witching hour. Is there anything else you want to touch base on?
Nope.
I have no shirt, so unless I'm getting naked, we can cut this off. So
we'll do that after we go off air.
Looking free touching's going to cost you.
Got to ask, big man. You can't afford it.
This episode was brought to you by BlackBoxCages.com. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram as well, at BlackBox Cages. Use the code THN25. Get a little something off your order. And then FullViewsApparel.com. Use the code THN at checkout. Get 15% off your order. That is the exclusive promo code for THN listeners and viewers like you. We've had our model here in the middle, showcasing just a handful of the selections that Fulvius offers, with new ones to come here soon. And then Cold-Blooded Caffeine, the best coffee around. Supporting two awesome guys, really good cause, really good coffee. You'll like it. Use the code SMOKE and enjoy. We'll be back Thursday for THP.
Nice.
Speaking of the New World Order shirt that Sanchez is wearing there, it may or may not be a BOA episode.
Oh, yes.
We'll, I think Viper boas are going to be a big part of the conversation.
Ooh,
This is
shit.
something
Can
we've had to reschedule this one a couple times, so it'll be good. But and then I think the week after that we have Arachnids lined up again, and I think Flippin' 10 maybe. I got to talk to Jake, but business as usual.
Excellent. Good.
We will see everybody later.
Later, y'all.
Bye.